Cities were worse to live in than 20 years ago. 1,000 people were surveyed about issues that affect cities, and the remarkable findings show that life in today's megacities is so stressful that at least two-thirds of those living in big cities would like to relocate to the countryside or a small town. The general cost of living in cities is one problem. The high property prices in big cities put buying a property out of reach for most first-time buyers. Many young people are priced out of the housing market and take in lodgers to make ends meet or rent overpriced flats miles away from the city center. In London, for instance, the price of buying even a one-bedroom flat is so prohibitive that many have given up even considering putting money aside for a deposit. The cost of going out is also very high. In many big cities, going to restaurants and pubs is very expensive for people on average salaries. Another issue facing people who live in cities is rising crime. Crime rates have rocketed in many big cities, and many say there are several dangerous no-go areas in their city. Fear of crime is on the rise. Street crimes, such as mugging, assault, and vandalism, are now very common, and many are afraid of going out at night alone. People also have to deal with antisocial behavior, such as verbal abuse in the street. Many were also concerned by the lack of green spaces and play facilities for children. Most major conurbations surveyed have a far smaller number of parks and gardens than a generation ago. Planning permission seems to have been given for an ever greater number of supermarkets, office developments, and apartments on sites where there were previously green spaces. Many of the respondents in the survey said they felt stressed and suffocated in the city, a problem compounded by pollution. And finally, the majority of people in the survey were fed up with the constant noise pollution, the roar of traffic, the sound of loud music blaring out of a neighbor's window, and the constant sound of activity. It is not surprising, then, that the level of stress-related illnesses among people who live in cities is higher than ever before. Big cities, once a mecca for ambitious people seeking fame and fortune, are now less and less popular among people of all ages. Perhaps the 21st century is set to be the century of the small town and the countryside? Summary. Survey findings on stress in cities. 1. 1,000 people surveyed revealed that life in cities is stressful, leading to two-thirds of those living in big cities wanting to relocate to the countryside or a small town. 2. High property prices in cities make buying a property out of reach for first-time buyers, leading many young people to take in lodgers or rent overpriced flats. 3. The cost of going out is also high, with restaurants and pubs being very expensive for people on average salaries. 4. Rising crime rates and fear of crime are increasing in many big cities, leading to an increased fear of going out at night alone. 5. Lack of green spaces and play facilities for children is a concern, with many respondents feeling stressed and suffocated in the city. 6. Constant noise pollution is a major issue, leading to higher levels of stress-related illnesses among people living in cities. Here are some vocabularies and their meanings. Property, a thing or things owned by someone. Price out, to make the price of something too high. Make ends meet, earn enough money to live. Prohibitive, too high, too costly. Mugging, to rob someone in a public place. Assault, to attack. Vandalism, damage to public or private property. Suffocated, feeling trapped. Fed up with, tired of something. Mecca, a place that attracts many people. Blare out, to be produced loudly. Answer true and false for each statement. 1. There are 5 problems mentioned in the reading. 2. Around 67% of city dwellers prefer to move to rural areas. 3. The crime rate has remained stable in recent years. 4. Noise pollution is the main cause of a higher level of stress-related illnesses. 5. Megacity is still an attractive destination for ambitious young people. According to the content, choose the best answer to the following questions. 1. Why do most people in London not want to buy a house near the city center? A. Because they enjoy living in a quiet rural area. B. Because they prefer to save money. C. Because a house in this area is high-priced. 2. What contributes to pollution in the city? A. The increase in population. B. The lack of green spaces. C. The ignorance of the government. 3. What are the author's conclusions about the future of the city? A. People are likely to move out of urban areas. B. The government will enact stricter laws to reduce the crime rate. C. People will be sponsored by the government when buying a property. This content is mainly for the purpose of learning English vocabulary, English grammar, and English sentence structure. We are learning American English. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Thank you for considering subscribing to see more exciting videos.